I've been monetized since about May 2024, and it's around July 2025 now. Here's the revenue analytics screenshot with the time range between the 1st of January 2025 and the 30th of June 2025. $191.47. $191.47 for an entire fucking half a year of work. And it's not like it was passive income either. Not like I made these videos years ago and they're still trickling in funds. However, it's also before taxes, so take off another, 30%-ish from this figure. So yeah, half a year for that, $191 before tax, legitimate chump change. Oh, shut up, gamification. This is like the third YouTube whinge video you've made in recent times. So the whole how much do I make on YouTube type videos have popped up more lately. Back in the day, I swear you could never find one of these videos since no one would reveal how much they made off of YouTube. But since personal finances are less taboo lately, more and more people are willing to share what they make on YouTube, myself included. As you obviously saw in the intro and the title of this video, or on the thumbnail. No clue what the thumbnail or title will be at the time of writing this script, but obviously it'll be around what I made on YouTube. The time frame I've decided to use is half a year, since I feel that's a good milestone. I could have just used the whole, how much does YouTube pay me for X amount of subscribers, but I can just make that video in another month or so. I've been monetized since around May 2024, and it's around July 2025 now. And I did make a video on my YouTube earnings last year, and this one isn't really an update to that. Otherwise, I'd include the rest of the money I made in the back half of 2024, but I'm not. I'm only including what I made in the first half of 2025. So enough beating around the bush, here's the revenue analytics screenshot with the time range between the 1st of January 2025 to the 30th of June 2025. $191.47. $191.47 for an entire fucking half a year of work. And it's not like that was passive income either. Not like I made these videos years ago and they're still trickling in funds. You can see the little video icons below the chart. It shows when I made an upload. It's around 44 to 48 videos for this whole time frame too. Basically about a video per week. I did have a holiday at some point which disrupted the routine, but 2 of my post-holiday videos were more short and fast to make compared to my other videos. I had some longer ones, I had some shorter ones, but the hourly rate for work is laughably small. Literally like 10 cents an hour based on the time I spent on YouTube. Pathetic. I have no real upload schedule, but more often than not, I'll upload something Friday night Australian o'clock, which would be like, early Friday morning for the United Statesians, or like afternoon o'clock for the United Kingdoms. Sorry to the other countries I didn't include. A good majority of my viewers are from those countries, which is why I would do things like time and currency conversions and weather conversions for those countries and not others. Speaking of, better do currency conversions. Depending on the foreign exchange rate when you see this, 191 Aussie dollary dues equates to about 125 freedom dollars or 92 colonizer pounds. YouTube/Google takes a cut of your ad revenue. Fair enough. You wouldn't have this opportunity without their platform, so this revenue is after they've taken their cut. However, it's also before taxes, so take off another, 30%-ish from this figure. So yeah, half a year for that. $191 before tax. Legitimate chump change. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to start making comparisons to how much money I make at an actual employment job. Ooh, job jump scare. Censor that word. 100 video gamers versus 1 job application. But I've made multiple comparisons to that in 2 of my recent videos, but I will briefly touch on that comparison in this video, otherwise I'm just recycling content. I have 2 jobs for anyone who's new here. My main accounting job is under threat of redundancy, but that hasn't happened yet. We will see in the coming months. And my secondary job is at a supermarket. I have a part-time contract that forces me there every weekend, meaning I work every single day of the week if I don't take a day off, / there's no public holidays. Lately, I've also been given 2 extra night shifts. My approximate routine looks like this. As you can see, lots of time spent working for the man. But the man has given me a lot of money to fund a lot of safety nets in my life, like my house, Tried by one of these bad boys in Australia, I dare you. So between these two jobs with these current extra shifts, my income earned from my two jobs is around $142,000 a year. $50,000 a year approximately from the supermarket shifts too. If you're wondering why I get paid so much at the minimum wage job, recall the foreign exchange rates I mentioned earlier. The Australian dollar is quite weak. I've given the breakdown of exactly how the supermarket pay is constructed in prior videos too, so go suss them if you care enough. But that's my annual amount from these two jobs. Cut that in half for half a year, and we have about $71,000 in half a year. $71,000 in 6 months working for the man versus $191 working for yourself. Even then, when you're a YouTuber, you don't work for yourself. You not only work for your audience and your sponsors, but you also work for YouTube itself. They get almost half of your ad revenue, bro. How is that working for yourself? But whatever, not the point of this video. So imagine you listen to all the quit your job for YouTube type videos. You'd miss out on so much extra income. Yeah, okay, maybe you bought back your freedom, but I don't know about you, but my jobs aren't debilitating. For my wagey night shifts, I can get away with headphones in since my hair covers the sides of my ears since my hair is long. And also managers don't give a fuck, so I am just straight chillin', listening to YouTube stuff while stacking fridges. Easy money. I'd be doing that YouTube stuff if I was at home. The difference is I'm getting a bit of exercise and getting paid for it. And my office job, if I could work from home, that'd be even better, but I can't. But I can't really complain about that in this job market. I'd rather have to work 5 days a week in an office versus 0 days a week because I'm laid off. And even then, I have my own little office. Since the company I work for is small and I'm like more senior, so I legit just listen to YouTube whilst doing my job. Pretty chill. Doesn't feel like I'm in a prison at all. Maybe if I couldn't listen to music and was in an open floor office space, maybe it'd feel different, but that's not my case. And if you did work in an open office space, I'd imagine you have some job at a larger company in a capital city, meaning your pay rate would be much higher than mine, thus maybe making it worth it. I could apply for jobs with my job title in Melbourne and literally make almost double. But there are many reasons why I'm not doing this. One such reason is the fact I don't feel trapped at all at my job. It feels pretty chill. So my jobs pay way more than YouTube, but to add insult to injury, there's other income sources that also pay more. Like stock trading. Now, I currently don't do any options trading, but I'm getting real close to starting. I never had the chance to learn it since I've been busy with my CPA studies and shit with my house for the past 4.5 years, but now those two are basically done. So now I have more time to check out the options. But what I have been doing is swing trading with no leverage, longs only, no shorting. These are 3 examples of stocks I've only had open for a few weeks here. Abercrombie & Fitch, Thermo Fisher, and Robinhood. I simply just buy at a point when I see the stocks are probably headed upwards, and once I see better opportunities elsewhere, or the indicators show that the stocks are likely to pull back soon, then I sell out. So the green plus figure is the dollar profit these stocks have made me. These 3 stocks alone, within less than a month, in total, have generated $320.62 in less than 1 month by pouring some extra money I made from my extra wagey shifts that I gained lately, and by simply checking TradingView and checking how these stocks were doing, then being like, yeah, seems good enough, and clicking buy, then literally doing nothing else other than keeping an eye on the indicators, doing that has made me more money than I did putting in effort into my YouTube channel for an entire half a year. Bruh. So yet another point for the whole YouTube ain't all it's cracked up to be type of thing. However, back in 2021, I would have been ecstatic if I had a monetized channel, so this does come across as being a bit ungrateful. However, lately, it seems getting monetized on YouTube is quite easy. Just make a video complaining about life and you'll go viral like instantly. Make a few of them and you'll hit 10,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time, easy money. And then as mentioned in other videos, obviously a lot of other channels I see are just exploding in sub count, and I honestly don't see how or why. So maybe you'll get lucky on YouTube, maybe you have super well edited content that's trendy, but obviously my style is not along those lines. The other channels with a similar style to me seem to have gotten really lucky. And I obviously didn't. I legit had to ask YouTube themselves if I was shadow banned since I wasn't sure what was going on. I cannot figure out what the fuck is going on. But anyway, the point is, I make way more from working my rat race and wagey job versus YouTube, and I also make more by buying certain stonks, sitting on them for a bit, then selling out. YouTube is by far the least efficient use of my time, so hopefully I see some growth sooner or later. But that'll do it. Just a quick update on YouTube earnings. How much I made in an entire half year? Less than 200 Aussie bucks before tax. There are more efficient uses of my time. Maybe your channel is a lot luckier than mine, and maybe you don't have my other sort of skills and responsibilities, I guess. Example, I've got stuff I can do with real estate and a secondary wagey job or stocks. I don't know many people who have those three opportunities, so maybe you have nothing, I guess, better to do other than YouTube, but I do. But also, I'm here to show that not everyone who has a YouTube channel is rolling in the big bucks, or even a nice bit of side income. Like, what exactly does this $191 pre-tax money get me? I could have made more working 2 extra night shifts and used the rest of the time I've spent in this half a year on YouTube to do other stuff. I am seriously going to consider just reacting to TikToks complaining about life, or even straight up just reposting TikTok compilations if my channel hasn't grown enough by the end of 2025. And I'm not kidding. Why would I be kidding? Those are surefire ways to grow a channel, and why would I keep flogging a dead horse? Why would I even bother spending my very limited free time for the sake of some channel that's growing like 1 new sub every month? Fuck that. Now, what I originally had in the script was the following. But it's fine, we're in it for the long haul, although I would really like to see a bit more growth sooner rather than later. But the more I ponder this, the more I'm realizing this is a dumb strategy. Sometimes your strategy just straight up fails. I really did think this idea had potential, but you can't just keep potting at something that isn't showing any results. So we'll give it another several months, but I will not continue if I don't see what I want. Making TikTok compilations or reactions to whinging people is a much easier and faster way to make videos that would literally be better off for me personally anyway. Since obviously it takes a lot less time and a lot less creativity to do that versus what I'm currently doing. Even ChatGPT agrees with me. It's low effort, high reward, has better algorithmic reach, reignites a stagnating channel. Easy, why not? Again, we'll give it a bit of time, and if I don't see the growth from my current content, why continue it? So any thoughts? Are you a YouTuber who makes chump change, or are you rolling it in? Are you surprised at how little or even how much this is? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. That is all.